I feel like I'm in an echo chamber regarding menopause. I was receiving so many inbox messages in regards to menopause at the moment. It's like everyone is asking questions. Everyone is wondering about what they should be doing. Should they be taking MHT, HRT? Should they be taking supplements? What should they be eating? This celebrity says this celebrity says that. This supplement says they have 80% of women that have improved their symptoms as a result of taking the specific supplement, mainly because they've had enough money, the company, to put into their own research to validate a supplement that's not validated. That makes sense. So they're actually pouring money into their own company to produce a result that they can't validate. And that's an issue because we need placebo randomized controlled trials to see real women's results and how well they have had X, Y, and Z with a specific treatment or supplement or hormone replacement or whatever it is. It's called meno-washing. We're being meno-washed. I think 6,000 women a day are going into menopause in the US at the moment. Now, that's a lot of women. That is basically billions of women globally. And the issue with that is that it's become a huge market, and the market is slowly becoming less thoughtful to what women's needs are. And that's a problem. That's a huge problem that we have in the industry right now. And of course you're confused. I don't blame you. You're confused, you're not sure. So my job is to try to give you the right data. I'm going to strive to give you all the information that you could possibly need to help you in your journey navigating perimenopause, which is the 8 to sometimes 10 years before menopause starts, before that last day where you could say that you haven't had one bleed for 12 months. So, there's a lot of pathologizing around perimenopause. There's a lot of symptoms that are being diagnosed that are just being labelled as perimenopause and not really being looked at properly, like lupus, autoimmune disorders, etc. It's a problem. And it's a problem in our industry because it's not really well regulated. So my job, once again, is to offer you the best information going forward, the best research. I've invested into some more professional development around menopause. So I am putting my foot forward in a lot more research now, in a focus group with functional medicine practitioners, looking specifically at the research that's being offered and what's coming out of the internet in terms of menopause. So that's what I'm doing. And I will give you as much data as I can and, help you with your decisions. The big one is testosterone. There's all this hype about testosterone providing women with muscle mass, when we know that there's very little data around that, even though in Australia they're giving, women's doses of testosterone away without any validity, without looking into blood tests as well, which is unbelievable, without really looking at the woman as a whole. And we know that it's good for the libido, definitely, and there's some research around that, but we don't know enough about it in terms of saying or making a claim that it is good for libido. So that's a big one. If you have any questions, please join my Embrace Menopause group. I'm happy to answer in there. I'm happy to answer your questions if you have any in regards to your health. DM me. I'm really looking at chewing the fat for you and really helping you with demystifying or debunking a lot of the trends and a lot of the silliness that's happening at the moment in the perimenopause world. It's become such a buzzword that menopause used to be the buzzword and perimenopause is the new buzzword. Every celebrity is talking about it. And when we're being meno-washed by celebrities who suddenly pick up a supplement they're endorsing because they're paying or being paid God knows how much to endorse this product, we're of the belief that, hey, it must work because such and such celebrity is taking it. Or pod washing, such and such celebrities on a podcast and talking about this particular thing. So I've got to take that because they're a celebrity. They know. Not really looking at real people, real women, real data, not 80% of a small sample. We need 80% of women in the world. We need a global understanding of women and how they respond to treatments. That's what we want. So anyway, I'm going to help you by bringing the closest I can of the data and research that's coming out in the next 6 weeks. So stay tuned. Please join my Embrace Menopause group if you haven't already. And let's get the conversation started. I'm glad it's actually being discussed. And in my role as a functional medicine practitioner, I realise now that I didn't get the training I needed when I was training at university, postgrad even, as much as the training I've received now in my qualification in this field, just how much research and how under-researched, rather, our general practitioners are, who are receiving hardly any training. General practitioners are not receiving hardly any training in regards to perimenopause unless they put their foot forward and pay for a continued professional development. Let's get the conversation going. What has been some of the myths that you want to debunk in perimenopause that you want to find out more information on? How can it help you? How can I help you? Would love to hear more.